here in this video I'm going to be drawing Jaiden Animations and TheOdd1sOut while talking about my recent experiences with Burnout. So there's a series that I've been wanting to do where I draw my favorite YouTubers, and recently Jaiden happened to put out a video about Burnout, coincidentally while I was actually taking a break from dealing with that exact thing. So I thought, what better way to start it out than to draw her and talk about my experiences with this at the same time. Now before I get to the actual drawing, I want to go over one thing specifically, and that is that I do take breaks often, is because I do tend to work myself more than what I'm actually capable of. Overworking myself is the main reason that I end up having to take a couple weeks off so frequently. And I didn't even realize that I was doing it like that until Jaiden's video. I figured I just wasn't capable of doing the same amount of work as other people, but then it turned out that I was actually doing too much work within a day. So I figured if I'm gonna come back from this break, what better way to do it than to talk about the person that inspired me to actually get my act together. And by that I mean I'm going to be making a lot of changes within my own schedule, and by that I mean there is no schedule. So I used to say that I make videos 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I would hold myself to that, but the problem is that didn't give me a lot of time to prep for each video. Here I've got my schedule kind of just drawn out really quickly for you guys. Monday through Sunday. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the days that I upload as shown in red. So Monday, I would start by uploading the video, then I would go into drawing. And that would take for a quick project between 5 to 8 hours, and a more ambitious project, I know it says 8 to 10 hours, but that's not true. If I'm using the drawing from this video as an example, it actually took me 2 days of 8 hours of work time. So in reality, 8 to 16 hours. And then depending on how much time I had at the end of that day is when I would record like I'm doing now. If I didn't have enough time at the end of that day, I would go on to the next day, which is Tuesday. And after recording was finished on Tuesday is when I would be doing the editing from the recording and the drawing to make the video the way that you see it when I post it, to make the video the way you see it when I put it on the internet. Then over to Wednesdays when I would upload the video, start the process again with drawing, recording, and then going on to the next day with all of the editing. Friday we post it, start the cycle again, drawing, filming. The weekend is weirder because I would choose whether Saturday or Sunday was going to be my day off, and which of those days is the day that I was actually going to edit the video, to have it done in time for Monday to start the entire cycle all over again. So I was basically working myself every single day and only having myself 1 day off during the weekend, which didn't really leave a lot of room for me to do outside activities besides cleaning the apartment. So to sum it up, that's 2 full days of work and then an upload, and then 2 full days of work and then an upload, making it so that there's only 1 day off and absolutely no time for me. So with that said, what I'm going to try and do is not have a schedule. I'm going to make videos as I feel comfortable, as I feel like I'm able to, and I'm going to take breaks when I feel I need to, or when I think I should. Even if I feel like I could keep going, I probably shouldn't. So if this means that it takes me 3 or 4 days to make 1 video because I'm actually stopping when I'm supposed to, then so be it. That's 1 video a week. So with that said, going into the artwork here, I'm going to be drawing Jaden, Ari, James, and his avatar from TheOdd1sOut. The reason why I'm not drawing Jaden's avatar is because the way that she is with her hair and her shirt kind of just looks like her avatar anyway, and with Ari there it's kind of obvious that it's her. With James on the other hand, he kind of just looks like a blonde dude unless his avatar is poking out from behind him, so that's why I did it that way. Now this one in particular took me way more time to do than it normally does, just because it's not one simple character like things like this. It's multiple characters, but also because I decided to use some foreshortening on this piece, and in particular, the most difficult thing you can do to a body part on the most difficult body part to draw. Look at this hand. You know how many times I go over this hand? A lot. I didn't show you the sketching part because getting the pose right with the foreshortening added to it just took so long, but that stupid pointing finger, I don't know why I decided to make it so freaking difficult for myself. A hand is hard enough to draw as it is, but I decided to do it foreshortened, which is even worse. Like how? I don't even know. I still don't even think it looks right. But it's the closest that I could actually get it with my level of skill at this point. I think I have to study foreshortening a little bit more to actually figure out what the heck it's supposed to look like. The same thing was with the legs. The legs are the second hardest thing for me to draw aside from hands, and I feel like this was a little weirder because she has her front leg that's forward towards the screen a little more than the other one, which means it's going to be bigger in comparison, which means it's supposed to get bigger as it goes down, but legs actually get thinner as they go down. So if it's foreshortened, does that mean it's the same width all the way down, or is there still some sort of form there? I don't know. I don't know. So if it looks weird to your eyeballs, that's probably why. With James it was a little easier because I decided to just do him in a running pose, which was pretty much just a twist with the leg poking forward. That part took me a little longer to do than I wanted it to do, just because of the way that the legs were. I wasn't quite sure how to angle the back leg that was pointing backwards, but eventually I got it to something that looked somewhat decent. So these are the first 2 YouTubers I'm going to be doing in my series of drawing my favorite YouTubers, and I don't know if I'm going to be adding all of these people to one giant picture at the end, but I knew that I wanted to draw these 2 together in the same picture just because they're very similar when it comes to their work, and they're seen together quite often actually, so I figured it was just fitting to put them both in the same thing. So back on the topic of burnout, the thing with that is I didn't really think of it as burnout because it happened so often. I mean, if you look at my uploads, it'll be a few days consistently, and then a couple weeks off, and then a few more days consistently, and then a couple weeks off, and I just disappear for a little bit. And I don't think people notice, and I don't blame them. It's just because I know I have a lot of people I'm subscribed to, and if they don't make videos on their schedule, I don't really think about it. I don't really notice until either somebody points it out or they upload and say, hey, sorry about this thing, I was gone for a while, and I'm like, what? I didn't even notice. And I think that's becoming more apparent now. That it's a more frequent thing that we just don't notice if our favorite YouTubers don't upload, because there are so many people to keep track of. And all we have to do is go to our subscription page on YouTube and find all of our favorite YouTubers right there and their uploads from the recent days. So unless you're specifically waiting for one YouTuber all week, you're not really gonna notice. Which is totally fine, except I don't have that fan base that encourages me to keep uploading. And sometimes that's good. That means I don't have the pressure of having to keep on putting out videos more than what I'm actually comfortable with doing. But at the same time, if I decide to take a break and I don't have the motivation to do anything, then I don't have anybody there asking me where's my next video and being my motivation to do something. But I just don't, because I don't have the confidence to. No one has said anything this far, so do people even care if you upload? And that's kind of the mindset that I've had recently, where even if I take a break for good reasons, sometimes that break is extended longer because I feel like nobody even cares if I came back at all. And partly that's because of the subscription thing I was talking about before, but it's also partly because I don't have a lot of subscribers in the first place. So the fraction of people from my fan base that would actually care how often I upload, it's a lot smaller than somebody who had multiple millions of subscribers, you know? There's going to be thousands and thousands of people that care about how often they upload and ask, hey, where's the next video? But if I only have a few hundred, and it's probably going to be like one person or less, which then just starts this horrible cycle of feeling like I need to upload and then uploading them more often, and then feeling like I need to take a break because I overworked myself, and then while I'm taking a break feeling like nobody cares if I even upload at all, and then as soon as one person says something, or as soon as I feel like I should get back to work, then I overwork myself all over again, and it just starts this big cycle of crap. Which is why I personally am really thankful to Jaiden that she made this video on this subject in the first place, because now I recognize that if I just don't overwork myself, I can still be consistent and eventually gain that fan base that will care when I upload and how often I do it. If I'm not doing YouTube, I don't have anything in my life that I feel like gives me purpose. I don't have people that I hang out with. I don't really do anything outside of my apartment. There's nobody around here. I don't have a life. I don't have anything. And partly it's because I moved here from where my friends were, and I don't know people out here, and I don't know any way to meet people out here. So the only way that I really get any social interaction from, if not from my family and texting friends from far away, is from YouTube, talking to people, growing fan bases, making friends, growing myself in the community, and just being a part of this. I'm surrounded by people without being surrounded by people. But even then, it's more people than I am surrounded by if I didn't do YouTube at all. Which is not the same for every YouTuber, it's just me in particular because I don't have anything else in my life. So Jaiden, if you see this, thank you for your video. You've probably gotten people already responding to this in a positive way, but I just want you to know personally that your video had inspired me to not be so stupid about how often I work. So with all that said, hopefully that explains why I've been taking breaks so frequently, and hopefully I won't have to take breaks as frequently anymore. So this is the final image. I hope you guys liked seeing how this was made. I hope that you found this interesting, and I hope this conversation maybe helped you guys realize some things about yourself. Maybe it helped, maybe it didn't, but either way I hope that this kind of gave you some more insight, at least onto what I go through and why I take breaks so often. So with all that said, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know you did, and if you're wondering what I'm doing in between videos, you can follow me on Twitter. That is where I'm the most active, but I have lists of other social media down in the description below. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!